I talked to you about the organization development general model of plan change, entering and contracting, diagnosing, planning and implementing change, evaluating and institutionalizing change. And I asked you to learn this model and use it in your papers that you're writing. So what we're trying to do is the authors are bringing several theories together to give us one good OD practitioner model to work with, a general framework to work with. And what I'm trying to do is connect those theories to real world. And so I want to share with you an example that demonstrates how flexible the general model is. This happened to me today. And so what happened is, actually not today, but this week, it happened this week. What happened is I got a call from a senior leader in our organization. And the senior leader I'd never talked to before, I'd never met him before. I responded to his call, made an appointment to go in to talk to him. Now, that's entering, okay? Now, during the conversation, after we talked a little while, he made it very clear that he thought that I could help him. Now, I made it very clear that my job is not HR, my job is management consultant, and I could help within a certain scope, and we talked about what it might be that he wanted me to do. I said, yes, I think I probably can help. Let's continue. Well, that was contracting, right? That was an agreement. And so then in the course of the next, I'd say, an hour or so, I asked questions, maybe more than an hour. I asked questions, he answered questions. I was diagnosing the situation. I had to learn the situation. I had to get information. Now, he had done a lot of research with the situation he was trying to fix. It happened to be that he was trying to do some things with his direct reports to help them adapt to new change procedures in the group. So he brought a lot of diagnosis to the table, and I diagnosed him, and I was able to come up with a plan that I thought would help him right there on the spot. And so now we're in phase 3. In phase 3, in one meeting, less than 90 minutes have gone by, and we're putting together, working with him, a plan to move forward. Now, implementing that plan is up to him. And I said, to help you implement this plan, it would be very useful if I could get a little more time to do some more diagnosis, some interviews, talks with your folks, with your direct reports, to gather some more data to make sure that this plan that we've concocted today in this 2 hours is on track. He says, okay. So now I'm back to diagnosing. So all in one meeting, now we're moving toward an intervention. And if it works, and we'll move to the last stage, which is evaluating what we've done and then trying to institutionalize the process. So I just want to show you how this general framework can be used even on a one-on-one, fairly simple consulting opportunity like the one I just described. Now, another example of how flexible the general model is. At the same time that I'm working with this client, I'm working with several other clients. And in particular, I'm working with a client that is trying to get his entire team to move from current state of how they interact and perceive our culture, our corporate culture, to a different state. Well, I've been working with this particular senior leader for quite a while now. We have done entering and contracting, right, and a set of observational diagnostics. Well, today I met with him again, and we haven't put any plan in place yet. We're still in the diagnosis phase. So the next step is for me to meet with him and his senior leaders again and do some more experimenting so that he can take notes. He's going to do the diagnosis with me. So it's very, very flexible. This kind of diagnosis we call observation in action. I'm going to be asking particular questions of his leaders, the prearranged between him and me, and he's going to be looking and observing where they are. Then we're going to get together and discuss. This is our second time to do this. Where are we at with these folks? And what do we need to do to move forward? Then we'll put together a plan. So that's a very informal kind of diagnosis, but it's been ongoing for quite a long time. So in this case, we're talking about 15 senior leaders. In the other example I gave you, using the general model of plan change, I was talking about one person, one leader with that person's small team. So it's a very flexible model. You can find yourself moving in and out of phases of it. But you know this, generally speaking, if you're trying to help a manager or a leader in an organization and you leave out one of the steps from that general model, the chances are really good that you will fail. It'll come back and bite you. You didn't do the right diagnosis. You didn't get enough information. Your plan was wobbly. You got the plan in place. You didn't evaluate it to see if it really works. So you thought you did something good, but nothing really changed. So the general model of plan change, powerful tool. As you look at your case study to write your paper, you can look and see, are the consultants in those case studies leaving out any of the steps in the general model of plan change? Or are they doing some of them better than others? What do you think? You can diagnose it. So another use for the general model of plan change is you can use it to diagnose how other people are doing at implementing a change process. That's all for now. Talk again soon.